Hey, hello. Hey, I've got two 12-inch chucks for this Axelson lathe. And 12-inch chucks is when they start becoming pretty heavy. And I've got two 12-inch chucks that are very heavy examples. And this four-jaw here, I showed this in the tooling that I put together for this lathe, and this thing was all rusted up but barely used, and I picked this up at HGR. 250 bucks is what it was total, and I don't think there's any deals like that right now. This chuck here is a solid steel. They call it a convertible chuck. You can take the pins out and knock out these plugs here and bolt it to an A6 spindle. So this is the way it is now. It's direct mount to a D16. So I found this space here under the tail of the lathe here where I can shove these in there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a wooden sled that sits on this thing. I'll probably modify it a bit. And then I can keep the chuck like this. It'll be contained on a sled pretty good. And then I slide it over here onto this thing here. Now this is the Harbor Freight motorcycle lift, but I don't think it's good for motorcycles at all. But it works good in here. See, that'll go down to that level there. Then I can pick the chuck up just about like that. Yeah. Get it over there, then slide it. It'll be sitting with the edge up. And slide it on over to that, and then I can lift it up to this height, slide the chuck and the sled onto the ways of the lathe, and then slide the pins into the spindle mounts. And that's a lot better than hanging a chuck by a chain. And a lot of places won't let you do that. And the reason is these chucks, I think this one here, this is the chuck that came with the machine. It's a little over 12-inch, and it must weigh 140 pounds with the back plate. I mean, it's really heavy. The four-jaw here weighs 121 pounds. So these are pretty heavy, and they're too heavy for me to lift, that's for sure. So I'm just gonna handle them that way. And I just don't think it'll take any longer time than fiddling around with an engine lift. You know, those are just crazy. So I'll have positive control of it, won't dump it, won't drop it on my foot. And so that's kind of how that's going. And so I got one more thing I'm going to put in this video. And I'm having a little bit of trouble leveling the lathe here, and I'm going to have to take some drastic steps. Let me get this loose and, yeah, point it that way. So the lathe, well anyway, see, I can move this over pretty easy, just like that, then lift it up. I got it so I can get this lift table to the machines here to handle the heavy stuff. Okay, back to the leveling problem. The machine head is twisted a little bit this way, okay? So I've got those bolts tight on that side, and the bolts tight on this side. Loose on the wall on this side, and tight on the wall that side, loose that side. So the lathe, I think I can even shake it. Maybe you can see me do this. See that? That's how it's set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hammer. Let me get one. And I'm going to get in here and I'm going to bang on it. If I can get in too somewhere. Okay, I'm going to do the same at the tail. Yeah. I think that will help. Now I'm going to loosen and tighten the bolts a time or two and keep banging on it, and I'll come back and see how the level's doing, okay? All right. Hey, I'm still dealing with leveling this lathe, but it's getting closer. I'm not using the high precision master level at this point. It's too frustrating, but it is actually getting quite close. I just got the regular 98 levels going here, and I'm a mark. I was way over, so it's working its way back. Slow but sure. It's got a memory. It'll go back home, but I maybe shouldn't worry too much about that. I'm going to take some more test cuts on it. Now this piece here, it shouldn't be cutting this good. It's got 2/1000 taper, and it was quite a bit more out of level than it is now when I cut this. And it's an even, quite even. So I expected it to be a little bit lumpy, but the machine seems to be cutting better than I thought it would. Now, you know, this type of machine, it can get out of level because this is just a tin here, but it's got the cast iron base under the headstock and one under the tailstock. Then all it's really holding it together is the bed, so it can get a little bit more of a twist in it over time. Now, these Monarch 10EEs, the base is so heavy, it's just a solid base there. And they actually say level doesn't matter too much on these. But I like to keep machines level for a number of reasons. And one of them is you can set stuff up on a faceplate or something difficult using a level. Sometimes the only way to get things true. But that's the difference here in these two machines, a precision lathe and a regular engine lathe. The base here is just solid. There's a big solid hunk of cast. Okay, I'm going to make some more cuts on this thing. Excessive compulsive disorder. I cleaned off all the bolt heads, most of them. See, on the carriage, I might have to get in here, but this seems to be clearing up. I having some hang-up problems on the cross feed, and further investigation, it showed that whoever worked on this before packed these full of grease, and you shouldn't do that because you oil them, and I think it cleans out the faces or something of those cone clutches, because I've been pumping oil through this, and it's getting considerably better. So I just kind of got to work the bugs out, but I think it looks better with the with the bolt heads exposed. Yeah, I'm digging these out here. I'm going to get into the headstock here and have a look and check the bearing adjustment. Okay, well, I'm going to do some test cuts in a little bit, and I just thought I'd talk about leveling and how I going to handle these chucks. You know, these heavy chucks for old people shouldn't be lifting them. Okay, you have a good day, and I'll be running this machine off and on today, I'm sure. Okay, bye.